This is the Enrichment Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into our 10th annual Sports Source Christmas Spectacular. The Enrichment Sports Source, happy to have you with us. After this show each year, people ask me, are you going to do the elves again next year? You're going to do the elves next year? And then coming up this month, I've heard, you're going to do the elves? We didn't do the elves, but instead I thought the reindeer kind of thing was pretty good. We have a packed show, all Christmas and on holiday themed, as we talk UT sports, football, basketball, and SEC sports. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hang with us today. First segment of the show brought to you by the folks at Enrichment Federal Credit Union, and they want all of you out there to know that the staff and management of Enrichment have only the best wishes for you to have a safe, joyous, and blessed Christmas and holiday with your family and friends. Enrichment Federal Credit Union, we certainly want to thank them for being a part of this show these many years. They wish their best to you, and we think you should stop by and see any of their 8 area locations and say thanks back. Enrichment Federal Credit Union. All right. Joined by Jimmy Himes from 990 The Sports Animal, Bob Hodge from the Knoxville News Sentinel, Mike Strange, Knoxville News Sentinel, Chuck Cavaleris, Media Mogul. You can find him anywhere. He's got his own billboards up at this point. All right, we got 21 UT and SEC topics, give or take, all with a holiday theme. We'll also be handing out 4 year-end holiday-themed awards at the end of the show, so you want to stick with us for that. But the first question, we'll go ahead and just dive right into it, a couple minutes on this one. At Christmas, there is no greater conversion story. No greater conversion story than that of Charles Dickens' Ebenezer Scrooge. But in terms of Butch Jones' Team 117, which conversion was biggest? Vanderbilt's 4th and inches that led to a home field defeat, or Michael Pilardi's last-second field goal to beat number 11 South Carolina? Which conversion was bigger?
Has to be the Michael Pilardi field goal.
Amen.
To me, it's not even close, because that is an example of the confidence that was instilled by Butch Jones in a player that was probably your most valuable player. And Derek Dooley would have said, try not to screw this up. Butch Jones says, we're going to play for the field goal, and you're going to make it. And plus, you beat Steve Spurrier, plus you beat a ranked opponent in Neyland Stadium.
For the first time in 1,000
And
times.
if he doesn't make that, we're still writing, it's been blank games since Tennessee beat a ranked team.
Right.
Okay. Do I have a difference of opinion?
Oh, yeah, you got a huge difference of opinion. And I'll tell you for 2 reasons. One,
Scrooge, go ahead.
That one was huge, no doubt about it, the Pilardi field goal. But Vandy came at the end of the year, and everybody carries over what happens at the end of the season, into the next season. And 2, that was against an in-state rival that supposedly is vastly inferior to you. And 3, it was the wrong call. So Tennessee sort of got slapped around a little bit by the officials blowing it too. So I'm going to go Vandy. I think it's worse to lose to Vandy than it is better to beat a ranked team.
You can make the argument that without Pilardi, you're not in bowl position. But if you at that situation, if you beat Vanderbilt, you're going to a bowl game.
Ask South Carolina which one's bigger.
Well, yeah, there's no
Cost
question.
them a SEC
it
championship
did.
game.
Yeah. But I think if you beat Vanderbilt and you had the bowl game, to me that would be bigger than beating a ranked team. So I'm going to go with Vanderbilt.
Okay. I'll split. I'll end this, and I'll go with these guys.
Thank
you.
I think that because here's the deal: if you don't have that one in the bag, as Mike says, you're going into next year, and people say, "Well, Butch Jones never beaten anybody." Where's the signature win? Signature win. I thought it was silly to ask for a signature win in year one, but he got it. And because the Vandy game came later, and because it did keep you out of the bowl, it was like the South Carolina game was forgotten.
Correct.
So it
That's
doesn't
true.
matter.
That's
Doesn't
true.
matter. So in terms of fan view, I think to a lot of them right now, Vanderbilt is bigger. I think in hindsight down the road, if things improve the way they should, I think you're going to see that the South Carolina game was maybe the beginning. Okay, that was the first glimpse that things were going in the right direction. We'll see. All right, next one. Nick Saban was given yet another new contract this month, reportedly worth more than $7 million per year in gold, frankincense, and myrrh. He is worth that much money. But does anyone else in the SEC deserve more than $5 million? He gets $7 million. I think he's worth it. Is there anybody else that's even worth $5 million?
I'm going to go with no.
No.
Because nobody else has turned Alabama or anybody else's football program into the money-making machine that Nick Saban has turned Alabama. So I think that's going to be no. I don't see $5 million a year for anybody.
I'm going to go a maybe, because Gus Malzahn in his first year gets them to a national championship game. How much money is that worth to your program? Now, can he sustain that? I don't know. But based on the first year, I think he's got a shot.
Yeah. 2 of the last 3 years he's been at Auburn, or 3 of the last 4 years he's been at Auburn. They've gone.
I'll go with maybe. Let's see if Texas comes after anybody with a big $6 or $7 million. Then maybe they're worth $5 million to keep them. Otherwise, no.
Okay.
If you
Chuck?
break it down, what is that? $420,000 a month. Which coach is worth $420,000 a month other than Saban? I don't really know of any.
You know, I think you can look at it and probably say if attendance goes up here and you're expanding the stadium there. But in terms of it, just you'd have to break it down. With Saban, you can just look at it and say, oh, yeah, they added 10,000 new seats,
Right.
and those 3 national championships were valued at X. With him, it's pretty cut and dried. All right, next question. On Seinfeld, right over there, Jerry and Elaine discovered that one of their friends was a regifter. Nothing worse than a regifter. Bruce Pearl's show cause penalty ends in August. Will he be regifted to another school? Will Bruce Pearl be hired to coach another school by the time next basketball season begins?
Yes, I think he will be.
If he wants to be, he will be.
Yeah, if he wants. Now, he's not going to take a mid-level job. He wouldn't go back to Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I talked to him the other day, and he and his attorney are considering filing an appeal with the NCAA to lessen the show cost. And that's something that, because the NCAA has been pretty lenient with some of the other penalties they've had, we'll see where that one goes. But I think he would take a job at the right level, and I think that people are going to look at him with the value that he brings. And now, the thing on the show cost, he can't recruit for that
Right,
X
till
amount of
August.
months, but he can do everything else. So I'm going to say yes.
He says it'll be regifted to another school. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, I want to say yes, reluctantly, but yes.
Okay. You think he will be regifted if he wants to be?
Absolutely, yeah. You look at when schools are looking at the market, who's out there who can come in and help my program. Tell me how many guys are going to be better than Bruce Pearl.
I agree with you there. What's going to be interesting, though, is most of these show cause guys don't come back. If they do, they don't come back quickly. He will be the first one to jump back into the game if it happens. Chuck, you got 20 seconds to end this one.
I'm going to say he's going to wait a little bit, just on the chance that the right opportunity isn't going to come along right away. And he can just kind of wait a little bit, and maybe Memphis would work out.
Yeah, I wonder about the Josh Pastner thing, too. We'll talk about that kind of stuff a little bit later in the show. We got tons more to come, all kinds of UT and SEC talk, all with a holiday theme. Coming up next, Tennessee's quarterback situation and what player can save Conzo Martin. Come on back on the Enrichment Sports Source.